Angel Reese wants us to believe that women's basketball isn't about a single player, but Chicago Sky just gave him the hard truth. They upgraded to the legendary United Center and held the first ever WNBA games there, thanks to Caitlin Clark, who did more than just move a game. You might want to turn away, Angel, for this gesture screams exactly what you've been denying. Angel Reese, like Caitlin Clark, wants to be recognized for the growing popularity of women's basketball. There will be double the number of seats and double the amount of hoopla due to the Caitlin Clark obsession. Everyone is taking advantage of her, even your own team, whether you like it or not. Think about it. Before Caitlin Clark joined the league, arenas were half empty, the energy was dreary, and let's be honest, it wasn't exactly primetime viewing. Every game is instantly full when Caitlin arrives. Both the number of ratings and ticket sales are soaring. In addition to remodeling arenas, teams are competing for the chance to host her games. Atlanta, Washington, and Chicago are now vying for the Caitlin Clark magic. Angel Reese and all the naysayers out there, get some popcorn and maybe a tissue because reality hit hard. Chicago Sky's choice wasn't just a business one. Their message was extremely clear. Caitlin Clark is more than just the future of the WNBA. At the moment, she is the superstar who is transforming the league. Watch as we examine how Caitlin Clark silenced the naysayers and turned women's basketball into a must-see event. Before we begin, kindly take a time to like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you join our team, you'll always be informed about the latest WNBA news, commentary, and important happenings like these. Don't overlook this. We have thought of everything. Click subscribe, like, and let's begin. Allow me to set the scene for a bit. Before Caitlin Clark arrived, the WNBA was doing well, let's face it, but let's not pretend that this is news. The average attendance at each game was 6,600. Arenas were rarely crowded, and some games, to be perfectly honest, felt more like private parties than significant sporting events. People came casually, drinking coffee, looking at their phones, checking the time, and wondering if they had left the stove on at home. It was definitely not electric. The thrill was tolerable, but it wasn't igniting the sports world. Caitlin Clark then shows up. The league didn't just wake up now, it was so enthusiastic. Instead of a free donut sale, stadiums started to fill up faster. Similar to Black Friday, your favorite store's inventory was blown off the shelves. Furthermore, social media melted whenever she appeared in court. The sports channels were talking about her. To see her perform, fans travel from all across the nation. Yes, even your granny, who hasn't watched sports since color television, knows who Caitlin Clark is. People, let's be honest, Grandma doesn't even have cable. But let's return to Angel Reese. Angel openly declared in the lately widely circulated interview that the WNBA isn't about one player subtly hinting that she is a player. Confidence is fantastic, you see.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
To be honest, without it, sports wouldn't be the same, and we value and respect it. But let's return to reality for a while, Angel. When Chicago literally increases the size of their facility for games against Caitlin Clark, it's not exactly subtle. It's like lighting up a neon billboard in Times Square. People, Caitlin Clark is a show. Together, Angel, let's give this some serious thought. Imagine having such confidence in your own star power, but then seeing how your own team is managed in public without a single word identifying the real draw. If people actually believed what you claimed, wouldn't the sky also improve for your matches? No, crickets. Instead, it is brutally clear who the real masses are waiting to see because they only go all out for Caitlin Clark. It's hard to believe, yet nobody has ever suffered from acknowledging reality. Please ask your ticket sales. Now let's talk about the facts. Caitlin Clark's WNBA debut was groundbreaking in addition to being noteworthy. Consider how rarely WNBA games generated national coverage or social media uproar before Caitlin. But when Caitlin hit the court with the Indiana Fever, attendance not only rose but skyrocketed. Remember that exciting opening matchup with the Liberty? Nearly 17,000 screaming fans packed Gainbridge Fieldhouse, turning an ordinary season game into something out of the NBA Finals or a sold-out Taylor Swift performance. It was insane, people insane. But there is one thing we must be quite clear about. This was no isolated incident or random happening. Every moment Caitlin touches the hardwood, the joy is evident. Fans come hundreds or even thousands of miles to witness her launch. From nearly half the floor, hit them with impossible shots as if they were unimportant. In addition to playing hoops, she's putting on a performance that her fans won't soon forget. Still unsure? Now, let's talk about teams outside of Indiana. The Atlanta Dream moved their games to State Farm Arena, home of the NBA's Hawks, in honor of Caitlin Clark's visit.
First pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin.
The Washington Mystics moved to Capital One Arena, home of the Wizards, simply because Caitlin was on the visiting squad. I'm not sure what more screams star power than that. But let's go back to Angel Reese and her swarm of critics. Those stubborn people who refuse to accept reality and insist that Caitlin isn't the center of the WNBA universe. Angel, let's spend some time discussing our hearts. If Caitlin wasn't the main draw, why is your own team, the Chicago Sky, literally altering their schedule, tripling the number of seats, and putting on a spectacular production only for her games?
Phenom, and some fans say they went extra mile just to watch her play here.
They didn't make these big adjustments for you or anyone else in the league, despite your bold statements. Planning a party and thinking it's just about you is like that, only to find out that everyone is there because Beyoncé decided to drop by. Caitlin Clark has now become a national celebrity, and some fans say they went above and above just to watch her perform here. Isn't that embarrassing? The denial is becoming amusing, to be honest. Angel, your team isn't just making insinuations. They're literally shouting from the rooftops that Caitlin Clark is the superstar that fans want to see. It's just an awkward silence that's being extended by acting as though it's something else. Then, how much more evidence is needed before the haters concede and accept the apparent truth? This is the issue with haters. People thrive on denial, much like their morning coffee. It might be easier for Angel and the other doubters to remain in the dark and pretend that Caitlin isn't changing the league. They would have to face the disturbing reality that a rookie who hasn't yet completed her second season is taking center stage in order to acknowledge her impact. Imagine preparing for your job with all of your hard work, and then this new kid shows up and steals the show faster than free pizza at a college dorm party. But let's be honest, numbers and ticket sales are trustworthy. If it weren't for Caitlin Clark, arenas wouldn't be filled up to handle her crowds. Instead of mumbling, the numbers are shouting from the roofs. Fans cast their ballots with their money in their foot. Haters are presently charging straight toward Caitlin Clark games while staring blankly at unsold tickets and vacant seats. A reminder of reality. All of it is now Caitlin's. Only their rent is paid by the haters. Sheila Johnson, the owner of Mystic, agrees that the league has a lot of talented players who should be acknowledged. What do you know, too? She is absolutely right. The WNBA is teeming with talent at every level. From exceptional rookies to rising stars and seasoned veterans, you have more potential than you can possibly fathom. But here's a reality check. None of these other players have contributed to this kind of explosive growth, despite the fact that they are excellent. Caitlin Clark is not only scoring points, but also attracting a lot of media attention, filling venues, and making headlines every day. Let's be honest, Caitlin is accomplishing something that decades of exceptional players before her simply couldn't. She is bringing up women's basketball in places like barbershops, coffee shops, dinner tables, and water coolers where there hasn't been much conversation about it before. Those who have never seen a single WNBA game are now regularly turning in because Caitlin is simply too fascinating to miss. Denying her influence now would be as absurd as claiming pizza isn't delicious, puppies aren't adorable, or weekends aren't the best part of the week. Not only would it be wrong, but it would also leave everyone utterly confused. And let's not forget the jaw-dropping media deals. Remember when the WNBA secured a staggering $2.2 billion media rights contract? Yes, billion with a B. To put that into perspective, you could buy lifetime tickets for every resident of your city and still have enough money left over for endless popcorn. This historic agreement didn't happen overnight. It was the result of the league's strategic push to enhance its marketing efforts and establish a dominant presence in the sports industry. This seismic shift happened because Caitlin Clark wasn't just visible, she was unmissable. Broadcasters, advertisers, and practically anyone with a pair of eyes could see her impact from miles away. It's like spotting a massive storm on the horizon Your first instinct is to either take cover or grab a camera because you know something spectacular is about to unfold.
Just excited to see.
Her playing. She's a three-point shooter.
I love watching her score and just everything about it.
Even the WNBA commissioner openly admitted that Clark's influence has skyrocketed attendance and media attention to levels never seen before. And when it comes to ratings, she didn't just increase them, she sent them through the roof. Fans who had never cared about women's basketball before are now glued to their screens.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
Just watching her passion in the game, the way she just plays with her team.
Eager to witness the next viral moment that will set the internet ablaze. He praised Caitlin Clark's impact beyond the court, emphasizing how she has the power to inspire millions of young girls across the globe. The goal was never just about sports. It was about empowering future leaders and helping young women chase their ambitions in every field. Even one of the greatest basketball coaches in history has publicly recognized her unmatched influence.
When she just shoots from half court, she's crazy. Pulls up right there, drops it.
A testament to the legacy she's building. Meanwhile, her teammates can't stop raving about her, feeling truly privileged to share the court with a generational talent like Clark. Let's be real. When legends and teammates alike can't stop singing your praises, you've officially entered a whole new realm of greatness. Maybe Angel Reese should take notes. Make no mistake, the Caitlin Clark phenomenon isn't some fleeting moment or overnight sensation. It's here to stay, and it's only going to get bigger, stronger, and more unstoppable. This isn't just another trend that fades away faster than your New Year's resolutions. Nope. This is a game-changing revolution that is rewriting the narrative of women's sports in real time. Let that sink in. Caitlin Clark's influence isn't just making waves, it's revolutionizing women's basketball like never before.
To help millions of young girls realize their dream, not just in
What was once overlooked is now in the spotlight, drawing in millions of new fans who had never paid attention to women's sports before. And they're not just casual viewers, they're passionate, engaged, and invested.
Obviously, in the United Center. There are 20,000 seats.
Turning into lifelong supporters almost overnight. And guess what? Everybody wins. Full stadiums, buzzing with energy, record-breaking TV contracts, and unprecedented sponsorship deals are flooding in, all thanks to this unstoppable surge in popularity. The result? Higher player salaries, bigger endorsement opportunities, and a league that is finally being valued at the level it deserves. Women's basketball isn't just growing, it's entering a new golden era, and Caitlin Clark is at the heart of it all.